go over some basic search things that I found when I went to iTech. They've probably been around forever, so some of you may already know them, but it was one of those things where it reminded me, so I thought it might remind you. When you do a basic search, let's say if we do the Korean War, for whatever reason, and you're going to get a large list of things that may or may not pertain. And one of the things that was suggested to us to go through with our kids and remind them of where the common places are for ads. That's the first thing, because they don't realize that the top thing isn't the first best choice. So the fact that ads are usually, and I can't see it on mine, but usually within the first 3 to 4 links are ads, and they're usually kind of have a gray or pink or orange color behind them. And then the other thing they usually have is along the right-hand side, and this one doesn't seem to have any of those. And then also at the very bottom, there's usually ads that run across that point. So those are the 3 common, it doesn't matter what website you're on, those are the 3 common places for ads. And that way the kids can know that that's not a good choice. The other piece that I was brought my attention to was search tools. So over right here, there is a piece called search tools. And if you click on that, it opens yet another bar of 3 choices. So those are search tools. You guys realize that they were here?
No.
Okay. One of them that you can do is right here, which is the 3rd one on the right. You can change the location. So you could actually tell it to look pertaining to maybe some town in Montana or some town in anywhere in the United States. So the location can be changed to anywhere in the United States. In this one, I don't think it's going to make any difference, but maybe if you were looking for something about the Oregon Trail and you wanted to narrow the focus from places that reside in that location or those states. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one alone for me here. Then on the far left, you have one that's called Anytime. This is customizing your time. So you could do anything within the last hour, week, month, etc. Now the thing that was presented there is they were talking about, do we realize how fast information changes? And so the discussion went around how quickly or how much of what you know right now changes and how fast it changes. The current change is every 18 months. Half of what you know has been changed or altered. So you think about that. Half of what you know in 18 months is different. So that was pretty scary to me. So they're saying when you search, anything past 3 years is getting to be old information and maybe not accurate. So the suggestion was to customize your range. So we go down here to customize range, and you have the ability to put in dates and years. So in this case, I'm going to go not necessarily with the last 3 years, which I normally do with my kids. I go 2010 to 2013, so we get 3 years of information. But with the Korean War, I'm going to do it one of the years, and if I remember right, 1953. Anybody know any different history teachers? All right, I'm going to do from 1953 to 1953. Now you could do a month and a year, so you don't have to just do years. But I'm going to say within that year. So it has narrowed my search to 3 articles that happened within that time frame or that's talking about that time frame. So that didn't seem like much help, but what I caught for exciting information is up here where it says web, images, maps, shopping, and news. If I clicked on news, it actually gave me newspapers from the year 1953. So if I click on one of these and I max out, this is actual newspapers, primary sources, which to me was a whole lot different than just getting an article from wherever, whenever on this. And they could actually search back through these because these are PDFs, so you could actually look through some of the other things that are on the newspaper. So it's pretty exciting when you see some of the things that could be happening or that the kids could get to as far as a primary source. Okay, let's try a different one. That one I thought was the most exciting, but let's just try global warming, or a different topic. And if I go to all news, oops, I don't want all news. I want to go back to my web. here's my advertising. See how it's colored? Maybe you can't tell on that one. So I know I don't want to use those. But if I go back up here to search tools, I can go to any time. I'm going to go to 2010, 2013. So I'm within 3 years. So hopefully fairly current. Hasn't changed a lot about global warming. And it changes a little bit of information. Then I can also go to, if I remember right, all results. Okay. And if you notice, it has reading level. So now I can pick basic, intermediate, or advanced. Basic's kind of in the elementary, 4th, 5th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in that zone is the way it was explained to me. Intermediate can be anywhere from middle school to high school, and the advanced is beyond secondary, or higher than secondary, college or higher. So if we go back to basic, it's going to narrow it down so it's reading level of somewhere in the 4th to 5th grade level. And so now you get things that are a little easier for your kids to read, more appropriate to their level. The other thing that we can do is up here, I can put a space, and I can put in SITE, site, and then colon, gov. Oops. And what this is going to do is only give me governmental sites. The nice part about this is governmental sites and educational sites cannot be bought. You have to prove that you're either an educational institution or a governmental institution. So any .com or .org or any can be bought. So this way you're guaranteed reliable information. So now you have governmental, EPA, you're getting information from NASA, Energy Star, you're getting governmental websites for your global warming information. Okay. We can also go with, now this is going to take a guess here, let's put in .ca for Canada because they'd be farther north. And if I search, I'm going from, and I didn't get anything there, but I would be coming from a different country, Canada being a different country. So what I'm showing you there, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's a lot of different ways to filter specific. So if you wanted to do like the Vietnam War and you wanted to come from the Vietnam viewpoint, you can go in from educational viewpoint, or you can come from the governmental viewpoint. And that way they can get actual information from that country, or newspapers from that country, or websites that are based in that country. And there's a bunch more. I'll do a mini lesson on it so we can actually play with it and do some things. But I thought it was pretty exciting how quick and easy we can use search tools, get it to their reading level, get it to current, get it to a primary source, a lot of different things that way. So, on to tonight, then you have work time. Yes?
What's the educational one? If the GOV is government, is it
EDU.
EDU.
Now, there's the other, it can be EDU or it can be oops, helps if I type right. It can be AC for academic institution, because if you start doing foreign countries, they don't all have EDUs. So right here we have some like Harvard, University of Texas. If you did something about AC dot, let's try UK again, maybe there's something in UK. And we search, then we should get things that have to do with only United Kingdom websites. So you get a different perspective on their website. The other thing we can do, we know that the United States has .k12.ia.us or .k12.mt or whatever state you want in there. That will give you more specific based on that state. So if you were trying to pick something in the northern, like maybe Oregon or Washington, and see what they have versus somebody in Florida for global warming, I mean, you could do that too by typing in k12.ia or .fl or .us. So lots of little different shortcuts that I learned. So I'll do a little mini lesson to help you find some of those things out, because it sure makes a difference the way you search.